Discipline is a skill, and it's an essential skill, especially if you have ADD. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 strategies that you can use immediately to get much stronger at discipline. Hey, it's Aron Croft and my cat Winston. Say hi. Ow! Don't do that. Don't do that. I just got attacked by Winston. He didn't like being picked up and put on camera. Hey, it's Aron Croft from Hidden ADD, where I share with you the tools, insights, and science-backed strategies that you need to not only survive, but to thrive with your hidden ADD. If this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button. I'm building a library of these tools and tips, and I don't want you to miss out. And now on to the video. Discipline is so important. What we ADDers can achieve is in direct proportion to our level of confidence in our own discipline and ability to follow through. We won't take on a project or a goal if we think that we're just going to drop it and fail. And so building discipline, and most importantly, your confidence in your own discipline, is critical for ADDers. So I'm gonna share 5 great strategies that you can do to build up your discipline muscle so you can really start to take control of your career, your productivity, and your life. Strategy number 1, generate a track record of small wins. The reason that we're doing this is because this is what generates confidence. But Aron, I hear you saying, confidence is just something that makes you more successful in the future. You either have confidence or you don't. And that's what psychologists used to think. But what researchers have discovered really only in the last decade or so, is that confidence is much more about the past than what the science shows about the future. So what they found is that a person's level of confidence, or what psychologists call self-efficacy, is highly correlated with their past performance. This is great news because we can hack the confidence cycle. How? By building a track record of small wins over time. As you start to demonstrate to yourself some small amounts of discipline and ability to follow through, your confidence will rise, and then your ability to take on slightly larger discipline tasks will improve. You know, I couldn't have imagined 7 years ago, when I was broke, divorced, and making barely above minimum wage with undiagnosed ADD, that I could have a thriving Fortune 500 career, a great relationship, and have time for side passion projects like building a YouTube channel. What? This is the upward cascade as you start to build on your confidence on these things, and your discipline muscle gets stronger. Strategy number 2, embrace this mantra. Small changes lead to big results. This for me was one of the biggest turning points. That was a quote that the lead professor in my master's program that I did in coaching psychology used to say all the time. So this is a mindset shift, and it ties into strategy number 1 about building a small track record of success. And as you shift your mindset and you start to embrace that small changes lead to big results, then you aim for small but consistency, where you start to build your confidence. Everything else is a bonus. Yay! Strategy number 3, incentivize yourself as you're building up your discipline muscle. So let's say you are trying to build up a habit of doing something 5 days a week. And if you watch my How to Build Insanely Good Habits video, I cover this in a little bit more detail. But let's say that you've got a tracker like this and you're tracking every day that you do this new behavior. We've kept it small, a la the first 2 strategies. Now, as you can see on this graphic here, I incentivized myself with a Nintendo Switch, but this was after 5 weeks. Now, our ADD brains with their dopamine dysregulation do not get the same level of motivational push with far out intangible rewards than neurotypical brains. So what I recommend is that you actually give yourself not just a reward at the end, but often a reward at the end of, say, week 1 and 2, where it's still a little bit shaky, and small, tiny rewards each day. So how did I do this? I took things that were already vices of mine, like I was eating ice cream most days, or if I was gonna watch a TV show, or I was gonna play a video game, or do something, and I simply then just made those things that I could get as rewards for doing my one habit behavior that I was really focused on building at the time, which I think was doing an hour of really distasteful work that I didn't want to do every morning. Dr. B.J. Fogg, a Stanford scientist, in his New York Times best-selling book, Tiny Habits, stresses the importance of celebrating and giving your brain a dopamine reward every single time you do a new behavior that you want to be doing. So it's very important that you celebrate and reward those small wins and that small success. I think you can see how all these strategies start to fit together. So strategy number 3 is to incentivize yourself. Our ADD brains need rewards to generate the dopamine to stay focused, even if the rewards aren't great for you, like eating ice cream. Over time, you can basically trade up in skills and rewards. So now I'm at the point where I've basically quit drinking, quit smoking weed, exercise 5 to 7 times a week, meditate regularly, wake up at 5:30 a.m. regularly, do these sorts of things. Those just effectively come from trading up to the next level of skill and discipline. And so don't be afraid to incentivize yourself. Your ADD brain needs it. Strategy number 4, have a reason to develop your discipline muscle. The best reason to use is because you are trying to achieve a goal that motivates and excites you. Maybe it's getting into an amazing new relationship. Maybe it's getting into a new job. Maybe it's getting promoted. Maybe it's moving out of your parents' house. The reason that such a goal is important is because our ADD brains struggle with motivation and staying on task. We need things that are intrinsically motivating. Things that neurotypicals can generate motivation for, we struggle with. We don't do great with I shoulds. So you really need to find something that speaks to you, that's going to pull you forward. And strategy number 5 is find a community that will enforce and support your growing discipline. So one great option is a job if you don't have one, because there you'll have a boss and rules and need to get good at following through, showing up on time, and doing certain things. They'll hold you to it, whereas friends and other people might not. I did this when I took my job that was paying just above minimum wage, because I knew that I was getting a strict boss who was going to help me build my discipline muscle. The other best approach is to pay for the coaching and support. I also did this when I went to Landmark Worldwide's program, so the Landmark Forum, Landmark Advanced course, and their seminars and the other training programs they had. I was expected to be on time. I had responsibilities. If I didn't follow through, they would let me know and coach me through it, but it was an environment that created some forced accountability, and that really helped me build my own confidence in my follow-through. You could find a group coaching or group therapy. You could also hire a one-on-one coach. But one thing that Dr. Benjamin Hardy really hammers home in his best-selling book, Willpower Doesn't Work, is that we are products of our environment. Our environment makes us who we are. You can't just try to do all the change internally and spit it out. You need an environment that pulls you into who you want to become. And what we're talking about in this video is who you want to become as someone who's stronger at discipline. The other options would be to find an online community or build your own community. The key thing is sometimes in free communities, people don't hold each other accountable. And if you're anything like me, you will wiggle out if you're not being held accountable, which is why I recommend those other 2 strategies to get the environment where you'll be forced to build your discipline. So those are the 5 tips. Do you have any others that you found to build discipline? Leave them down in the comments below for the other viewers of this video to benefit from them. I welcome any of your feedback, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.